This is boy Jeameave back here in Views from the Heart, and today I did a 2018 Infiniti Q60S Red Sport, courtesy of Infiniti South Bay. Once again, thank you so much to Luis and Will for this wonderful opportunity.
What's good? Again, I'm back. You already know what it is.
You gotta stop creeping up on me like that.
You know, but that's what I do. I
creep.
Yeah, my fault.
But anyway, like I said, thank you so much to Infiniti South Bay for this gorgeous looking this is a deep sea blue. Like I said, I don't know the exact specific color of this, but I love this blue. Now I'm looking at it in the sunlight, and as you can see, we're in beautiful, beautiful San Pedro, White Point Beach to be exactly.
Like ocean.
That's exactly what I said. You know, it's very deep. It's pretty invigorating. But with that said, like I said, this is packing the VR30, kind of the baby brother Nissan GTR engine. A twin turbo V6 pushing 400 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. And this is basically the top of the line Infiniti and what Infiniti has to offer in terms of trying to infuse opulence with sportiness. And let's take and see what this bad boy's all about.
What's good? Hey, do this one.
What's it like driving a 2018 Infiniti Q60S Red Sport, packing 400 horsepower and 350 pound-feet in torque, courtesy of a twin turbo V6, and also courtesy of South Bay. Once again, shout out. What are you doing, bro?
Bro, first of all, my phone just stood off on that, bro.
Thank you so much to South Bay for this opportunity, and my guy Will in the back. Sorry if I'm scaring you, Will. my guy Will probably was not prepared for this, but you know, I need to check and see how this bad boy is all about. So let's see here. We're in the third.
Wow.
Okay. So it's pretty good brakes. It is enjoyable, but I will say the steering is, well, honestly, there's no way around it. The steering is awful. I'm sorry. The steering is not where it should be. I'm honestly I'm disappointed. I expected something handling-wise to be spectacular from the Q60S Red Sport, and the fact that it has this engine which feels pretty competent, man, it's just it's a lovely car. Like, I love the interior. I love how it feels. The seats are very comfortable. It is a very luxurious cabin. I love the dual screen touchscreens and the center console. It is a very compelling package for everything but sportiness. And the main thing for me is just the steering is just not there, and I don't really understand why. But let's see, I'm taking these corners now. That feels really good though. It pulls.
Wait, let me tell you.
It definitely pulls, but I can see that this is just it's fun, but then that's because I'm making it have fun, you know? But you know, I just wanted to put it through its paces and see how it feels, especially in the corners, because when I did a Q50 before, like a 2016, and this was when I was discussing the fly-by-wire steering, and again, at that point, I was very disappointed. The fly-by-wire steering, it's like an intermediary between the steering wheel and some electronic mechanism and the wheels on the road. Infiniti, why did you do this? I don't understand, like, what sense does it make? It seems like it would add weight and just overall complications. What's wrong with just a traditional electrical power steering or even hydraulic power steering? If this car would have that, it would be really good because this engine is competent. Like this one. Am I blind? Alright.
You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing.
But overall, like I said, the engine is very competent. It feels great. It's torquey, and it definitely pulls close to the red line, but it's just, I don't know. This car would be amazing for the money if the steering was just be able to translate some sort of feedback to me, which I don't feel in here. It's very vague, it feels sterile, it feels lacking of fun, it's devoid of fun. And this is one of the few cars that I've driven that I've honestly felt that way. And it's just, it's honestly, like I said, only opposed to the steering and its sport car characteristics, is honestly disappointing. But this view is amazing, so that makes them all for it. That, look at that, just amazing. But overall, this, apart from its sporty characteristics, don't get me wrong, I am not bashing this car by any means. It is a lovely, comfortable luxury cruiser, but this is not a sports car. I'll tell you right now. It might have sport, it might have red in it, it might have S, and everything that you could think of that would exemplify something being sporty. But this is not delivering on a sporty experience. And you need to, people that are interested in this car need to understand that this is not a sports car. This is like a cruising GTS car. And for me, like I said, for me personally, I always try and compare cars to a sport car, because that is what I've been blessed to be able to drive every day. And obviously it's contextually. If I'm driving an SUV, yes, I'll say if the steering is like commuter or anything like that, but obviously I'm not expecting it to handle like a sport car. But when it's a sedan and it has Red Sport and 400 horsepower and a 7-speed automatic and this and that, I expect something a little bit more fun, to say the least. And I say that loosely because it is a fun car. It is somewhat capable in capable hands. I'm not saying I'm the best driver or anything like that by any means, but it definitely doesn't make you feel like as if you're Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher, I tell you that. It definitely requires you to be more on point and understand the characteristics of this car and realize that this just is not, this is not, in its current trim, is not delivering on a pleasurable driving experience that you can sit here and say, I enjoy how it feels, and so on and so forth. But that is only, I'm only saying that directed to its driving and characteristics. This is a very comfortable car. My brother is 6'4". He has amazing room.
I scoot up a little bit, but yeah, I can still scoot back some.
But you need to keep that in mind as well at the same time, that bearing in mind his front spaciousness is at the expense of the back occupant.
Yeah, sure.
And shout out to my guy Will in the back from South Bay Infiniti. We are both similar in height. And how you feeling back there, Will?
I got space back here.
Oh damn, good lord. My apologies. You know, I just have to appreciate that, you know. But Will is relatively comfortable here. Remember, we are not the tallest people, so the cabin is pretty decent for people that are not abnormally tall.
Wow. What's the curb weight like?
The curb weight is actually pretty up there. The curb weight is around 3,800 pounds for the rear-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive is around 4,100. Excuse me, just under 3,900 for rear-wheel drive and just under 4,100 for all-wheel drive. So it's not the lightest car either, but I can see that because everywhere you touch, see, and feel in here, you feel something of quality. I love the almost covered fiber-esque silver or white silver door sill trims over here. Like even on the doors, you have this nice opulent white leather that just overall is extremely aesthetically pleasing. It is something definitely eye-catching to look at, because I mean, realistically, how often do you see a car lathered in white interior?
Not unless it's very, very luxury, like Mercedes or...
I'll tell you one thing, this is one of the first cars I've personally seen that has executed a white combination very well. It has cross stitching with on the dashboard with white stitching. It's a lovely and appealing design. It looks very good, very clean. It's definitely something that you would not be disappointed to sit in. This is comfortable. I am sitting in nice luxury, and I am confident and pleased with the way it feels on the inside. But again, like I said, I am a car person, I am a sports car person, and honestly, I'm just disappointed in the way the car handles. But again, like I said, contextually, you can also argue that maybe this car is not meant for that. And that's perfectly understandable for people that are saying like, well, this car is meant for. That's understandable too. But like I said, my argument for that is when I hear Red Sport, and I hear it's packed with 400 horsepower, and I hear this, and I hear that, I hear aggressiveness, and a twin turbo V6, I expect something, especially considering the fact that Infiniti is owned by Nissan. Everyone knows what a Nissan GTR is and how capable that car is, and how amazing that car is to drive. Granted, there are some, you know, it's people saying that the car drives itself, basically being a computer with wheels. But I can confidently say, although I have not personally driven a GTR yet, it would have to be the steering and feedback that car gives would have to be better than this, because there's no way someone can tell me that their steering feels the same as the GTR as it does in this car, and they're doing a Nürburgring lap time of 7 minutes and 30 seconds around there. Impossible, because you can't feel the road. You can't tell what the front wheels are doing. You're kind of in limbo. There's that, my mind is telling me that there is something in the middle between the steering column and the wheels. It should just be the wheels to the steering column, but instead there is an intermediary between the two, and that just is not, it's not good enough. Infiniti, you need to do better with that, because when I drove the G37, I loved the way that car felt. And Will can even attest to that in saying that if this car felt like the G37 handling wise, this would be a great car, this would be a compelling car. But it just, why would you go from something that already felt so good to something that's just lackluster in terms of handling feel? I don't understand that. Like, what was the thinking? Why would you do that? And on top of that, what I loved about Infiniti was Infiniti offered a great driving experience at an affordable price with reliability on top of that compared to its German contemporaries. That was the G37. You didn't have to get a 335i or something that had turbos and, you know, all sorts of cooling issues, which I personally experienced in my own car. You got a naturally aspirated V6 pushing 330 horsepower and 268 pound-feet of torque in a G37 that was reliable, that you could beat the piss out of and not have to worry about it breaking down as much or costing an arm and a leg when it comes to repairs. That was Infiniti in my mind, offering a comparable luxury experience with reliability back behind it at a cheaper price. Now, what does Infiniti offer? It offers a great interior, don't get me wrong, this is a lovely interior. They definitely increased their game when it comes to how their interiors are and how much better it is. But yet you detracted from what I personally thought was a defining characteristic of the G line. What you made with the Q was something that just doesn't deliver in driving fun and driving pleasure. You excelled in offering something comfortable as something that is a cruiser, a GT cruiser, and something for people to just lounge around in the city. Absolutely. You definitely nailed it on that point, because this is honestly a very comfortable car. But when it comes to any sort of driving fun, anything other than a straight line, it's just, I'm saddened, because I know Infiniti is capable of doing much more, and you have this, you literally have one car holding up about 9 other vehicles right now. I think this, you see this? You see this right now? You see this, Will? This man is really holding up an entire dealership convoy of cars right now. But anyway, back to the Infiniti Q60S Red Sport. Now, like I said, it sounds like I'm being overly negative on this car, but like I said, I'm only being negative on one aspect of the car, and that's the aspect that is most important to me personally when it comes to owning a car. And with that being said, I don't know if I could personally own this car because of the way I view cars that I would personally own. It is a lovely interior. It is a comfortable car. It's very supple. Even in Sport Plus mode, it's very supple when going over bumps and any sort of imperfection on the road. It's a nice car to cruise in, but it's not a nice car to have fun in. And I think that is something that is sorely lacking from Infiniti, because Infiniti needs a car. How do you have a GTR or a 370Z, and then Infiniti is supposed to be the luxury line of Nissan, but if you can't translate that same technology to here, like, why? That doesn't make sense. You have this technology already there. It's already available in your other vehicles, in your Nissan lineup. Why can't you translate that to Infiniti? It's the same company.
What would you recommend this car?
This car, I would see for someone that is looking for something that is sexy. This is a sexy design to me, and I love the way this design looks, especially this blue. If I were to get this car, it'd definitely be in this blue color. I love this blue. It's very deep and rich. I mean, yeah. 400. But this is something for like maybe your established gentleman, someone that is over the sports car craze and just wants something comfortable to cruise around in, that has good looks, look good in, at a pretty affordable price. This right now, base MSRP with no options, is about $54,000. This one particularly optioned up, which pretty much has all the bells and whistles, your reverse camera, your crash detection warning, your lane departure warning, everything you could possibly want. It has a lot of features that you'd want and be comfortable with outside of, you know, an engaging drive. And like I said, if this car would be able to drive and handle just better, it would be a very, very compelling package for an individual like me. Like I said, not everyone wants something that handles and is stiff and can handle and carve up roads. That is perfectly understandable. That is not the market for some people. That is a market for me. But this is for something that is someone that just wants something comfortable, good to look in, good to look at, and is eye-catching. And that's why I say there is a market for that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, what else does Infiniti offer that can have a fun, sporty experience besides looking at Nissan? And honestly, I don't know. Well, what do you think would offer what I wish this car would offer that's offered by Infiniti? Nothing right now, right? Nothing right now. Why? Infiniti, you had it before in the G. You offered something that was able to compete with the 3 Series, and on top of that, not be in the shop every other week. And you got rid of that for something that... Why? Why Infiniti? You guys need to bring out something that offers comparable G37 handling with this power plant in this interior. Gold. I want shares of that too, because if you're not, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. That is what this car should have been. That is what this car I wish should have, because it is capable. It is capable of, like I said, I've been driving in Sport Plus mode the entire time. The entire time. And in standard, you can't beg me to drive in standard mode. You can't. Standard, just the steering wheel feels like a literal wet noodle, like you just boiled some pasta. Why? No.
Top ramen for you.
But in standard, there is definitely a clear difference in terms of it being artificially heavy. And although the steering is tighter and heavier, I still can't feel anything on the road, and that is most important to me. And that's just something that I wish Infiniti would do better with. But overall, I love this car. It's a great car for what it is.
No, I believe.
But what I personally own it, it's a no for me.
What about that matte Hummer right there?
You're wild. Yeah. Again, as I mentioned, I'd recommend this car for anyone that is wanting a great car to look at, great car to look in, a lovely interior, and something reliable with enough horsepower, and is more than capable in a straight line.
Mind you, this car is rather quiet too.
It is rather quiet. Like I said, they nailed it on the luxury part.
Yeah.
But they omitted everything when it comes to fun while driving. Now some people love going in a straight line, and that's cool too. But sometimes, you know, when that corner comes up and you're like,
part of my language. Did I think?
Oh, that being said, you know, I think I covered everything I need to, but it's vehicle. Once again, thank you so much to South Bay Infiniti for this opportunity. Like I said, every vehicle I do, I try to be honest. And like I said, not everything will be up to my taste. And like I said, I can only speak for me. This is just my personal taste. This is a great car when you're looking at it from just perspectives that I've previously stated. But when you're looking at it from a sport car perspective, it's just not there yet. But if you're looking at it from a luxury perspective, it's definitely there. I just wish Infiniti comes out with something that offers both, because I'll be the first one to review it and say that Infiniti has finally brought back what they should have already had in their lineup Because if Nissan offers it, why can't Infiniti? You're the same company. Infiniti is a subdivision of Nissan. There is no excuse. Do better.
Just like that. That's it. Do better.
With that being said, I believe I covered everything I need to about this vehicle. Once again, thank you guys so much to the viewers for this opportunity. Shout out to my guy Will. If you need any video or have any questions, please feel free to hit him up. Want any number or social media that you want to shout out so people can reach up to you?
Text me at 323-491-3975.
You heard it from the
You
man.
heard it here first. If you're looking into Infiniti, like I said, this is a great car if you're looking at a different perspective of it being a nice luxury cruiser. I would highly recommend it. With that being said, it's your boy Jeameave.
Your boy Machiavelli.
With Views from the Heart. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you again in the next one. Have a blessed day, and we're out.